Oh yeah, man. We finally getting around to it, man. We gotta talk about the C vaccine and the truth that came out. It was talked about all over the internet. Everybody had the questions for Fauci. And the conspiracy theorists or the people who just feel like they not conspiracy theorists, but they truth seekers, they had their way. They feel like they had the last laugh. And it was divided between those people and the people who just trust in their government, trust in science. And it was it, it caused a big division on social media. And I've been waiting to get around to this video, but better late than never. And man, we go get into some clips, man. And some people are regretting, some people are apologizing, and we got to talk about it, man. Let's get into it, man. All right. First video, we're gonna get into this woman right here, and it says it
This
caused
whole
her
like
ovaries.
Fauci, however you say his name, American government situation is really disturbing me, and I want to I want to fight someone. I really do, because what do you mean we didn't have to get the COVID vaccine? And I kind of feel two ways. One, I'm kind of like upset with myself because I really wish I would have trusted God and not taken the vaccine. I really do. And I remember Tiffany Montgomery saying, "Do not take that poison." But I didn't take it because I was fearful about COVID. I took it because I really needed a job. And at the time, the only job that was available to me was a job in healthcare. And you couldn't work in any healthcare system and not get the vaccine. You just couldn't. Like, it was a no. And I was like desperate at this point. I had just came from a stint of like sleeping in my car for a couple of months of like, I need a job. And that was the first job that was available to me. And I took the vaccine. But as soon as I took the vaccine, my period stopped. My ovaries shut down. I went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Are you still getting your period?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's like intermittent." And he's like, "Yeah, well, your body's functioning like a 7-year-old woman in menopause." And I was 32 at the time. And he's like, "The only way for you to have children is to freeze your eggs right now, try to do an IVF cycle or donor eggs." I tried the IVF cycle from the hospital that I was working in, failed miserably. Okay. I needed like 4 more rounds. And the hospital at the time only gave you like $20,000 for IVF, a lifetime, for a lifetime cycle, because depending on the cycle it is very expensive, and I did $20,000 my first cycle. And so then the doctor's like, "Well, the only way that you're going to have a kid is if you get donor eggs," which I don't believe in them. I believe that God is going to do his big one when it's time for me to have children. He can do the impossible, so I'm really not worried about that part. But I'm just like, all of the things that I've been through, like my periods are so intermittent. I It is really crazy. And I just don't understand how you're going to tell us right now that we never needed to get the COVID vaccine. Like, I'm going to fight you. Can I sue you? Like, I know that's rhetorical, but for real, like, crazy.
Yeah, man. A lot of people, regret taking it. You have all these horror stories. You got people like this who, something happened to their body that wasn't functioning the way it was before they took the jab, and you have other people who missed out on their prime, missed out on their graduation, real big life moments that they could never get back. Some people like they whole, high school experience, or most of their high school experience, and you just kind of feel for a lot of these people because they trust into the government. And a lot of people always thought the big pharma and all these big companies, were just a little shady because a lot of people just feel like this not a country, this is a business, you know, and everything is a money grab, and it's usually some type of reason behind everything, you know. And a lot of people were just real suspicious when it was just so many different type of vaccines coming out, but no real testing behind it. Like this virus just hit, now it's all of a sudden a vaccine, no real long term testing on, actual humans, and you just putting it out, and on top of that, you giving free stuff. That's when a lot of people had their suspicions. I remember Juvenile had the song, "Girl, you look good once you vax that thing up." I mean, like it was just so many different plays on society like they were using, free food. They was getting celebrities to make jingles. They was getting all type of marketing going on. Um, that right there was letting people know, okay, something wrong. And then the whole mask situation with the mandates and stuff. A lot of people were feeling like it didn't make sense how you could go to the how they wanted you to use it in a restaurant, but you could be fine while you're eating it. I mean, while you eating food. Um, then on top of that, I was watching the movie Editing last night, man. Joaquin Phoenix, he played a phenomenal job in it, and it was just speaking on a lot of the stuff that was going on in the country when it came to the mass mandates. Just a whole lot of division. The people who wanted to practice social distances, practice, putting on a mask to go inside places, and a lot of people were just feeling like it didn't make no sense. All this was just ridiculous versus the people who was like, man, you are part of the problem because you making it spread more. So, man, it was just a time, bro. 2020, bro. That's like one of them years I think a lot of people will never forget. Let's get into another. We're gonna get into Benadine. He gonna give his thoughts.
Oh, they did say COVID was a hoax. I know y'all seen that. I know y'all did say COVID was a hoax. If you got the vaccine back when they were making their, you know how I knew COVID was a fucking hoax when they started giving out fucking free ice cream and free McChickens. If you got the COVID shot, when the fuck they ever did that?
Yeah, man, they was giving out a whole bunch of stuff. Like I don't remember exactly all the stuff vividly, but I do remember stuff was being given out if you had it and it was just seeming shady. And a lot of people, they were put in a compromised position because, it was either keep your job or take this. And some jobs you were essential, so you needed to have the job to work. And some jobs, well, you just wasn't working. But some jobs, they, in order to even work there, like healthcare and all this and all that, you had to take it. And when certain people of the healthcare was not trying to take it, that's really what made my suspicions go up. And there's one particular video where this lady from Houston, I think she was like an African lady, she was just spilling her hearts out on saying, man, all this is ridiculous. All you need to take is this, and it'll be you'll be fine. You don't need to take this. That's what really made my antennas rise up. Now, me personally, I took it. I ain't even gonna lie. I took it because my job, you know, but hopefully don't nothing happen because even if you took it and you saying something, isn't wrong with me, I feel fine. I don't see anything out the norm, then, who knows what can happen a couple of months or a couple of years from now. Some people have effects quick, some people have effects long term. And on top of that, the thing about it is, even if you didn't take it, it's so much other stuff. Remember how they was talking about the 4G and 5G with your phone? So many of different products right now coming out saying, oh, they got cancerous things in this product. So no matter if you eating something, if you using certain technology, stuff could be airborne when they be, doing sprays and stuff with from the planes. Like it's so much things you could just pinpoint and say, well, you still got to worry about this. You still got to worry about that. Plastic bottles, like I mean, I mean, damn that everything bad for you nowadays. So unless you living off the grid, unless you know, drinking your own spring water that you done made. I mean, not made that you nearby, and unless you just forming your own food, growing your own food, you at risk of something regardless. You know what I'm saying?
They giving away buy one get one free piece at Papa John's if you got the COVID vaccination. And some of y'all dumbasses went and got it. Oh, I ain't finna be sick. Dick surgery is crazy. If you believe that, you probably took the fucking COVID vaccination.
Now, like I say, man, everybody could say this, everybody could say that. Even before this was coming out, it was vaccines and stuff that you had to take to go to school. So it was certain shots that you had to take. You know what I'm saying? So it was like this could have been going on. You know, and on top of that, Ben Adine, he got ab surgery from what I'm believing. That could have went wrong. So everybody could pinpoint as something certain people choosing to do, but people got to look at the stuff that they doing as well. Let's look at this guy, see what he got to say.
The vaccine in regards to COVID was complete and utter bullshit. I would just like to say, being somebody that is a free thinker and didn't fall for the fucking bullshit that they perpetuated on us, it is so vindicating all these years later.
So how he call himself a free thinker. They don't like to be called conspiracy theorists. They choose to be called free thinker or what's that I said earlier? Truth seeker.
To be proven right, which I knew I was from the jump. I mean, the fact that you all couldn't see the red flags jumping out at you is mind boggling to me because, in my mind, the government has never once cared about the public's safety and health. So, if they start to force everything or force something on everybody under the guise of safety and health, that's a big fucking red flag. And it's not about safety and health. They gave you all some fucking test chemical to see what it would do, and they didn't know what it was going to do. And the fact that y'all acted so goddamn ignorant and hateful towards people that were right all along should make you fucking realize that you're not as smart as you think you are. And it's like anybody that stood with me and didn't fold, thank you for your service and your courage to not allow all the fucking droids out there that can't think for themselves and allow others to tell them how to feel. Thank you for
And it's crazy because, let's just say the next pandemic come, and let's just say this is a legit pandemic. It's gonna be hard to get people to take, legitimate vaccines for it because now you can't trust nothing. You know what I'm saying?
not folding on that because the world needs more of us. And it's like, I'll never forget all the things that all of you said to me because it wasn't just from my friends and family. I was very vocal on social media the entire time out of love for my fellow human because I knew that this wasn't right. I did my own independent research. And just in general, there is no such thing as a vaccine for a virus because viruses mutate too quick to have a vaccine that works. So just knowing that fact, that's why we don't have a fucking vaccine for the fucking common cold. Just knowing that fact should tell you all that you needed to know. So it's like it's just so crazy to me that y'all really were hateful and the whole time you were ignorant. So it's like we got blamed for having a better pattern recognition than most. And now it's come out that we were right the whole time. So to anybody that stood in solidarity with me, fist bump to you brother and sisters. Everybody else, you need to turn inward and maybe fucking do some soul seeking on why the fuck you turned so easily against your fellow citizen and your fellow human brother and sister because the government told you so. You cannot be trusted, and that's a fact. Your judgment was not good. Therefore, maybe you remember the people that were right all along and you look towards them when it comes to shit in the future. So now
Now, if they want to take their victory lap, let them have it. Um, to me, it ain't really about what's right or what's wrong. It's about how we gonna move forward. You know, um, I think that I think the next big pandemic or the next big, you know, thing that's gonna have the world in a frenzy or whatnot is from this situation right here. It's gonna cause even more chaos. It's gonna cause even more, you know, distrust. Like it's just gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be bad. So Let's see what this girl talking about.
Check the scope.
Creates a toxic spike protein in your body that can cause adverse reactions, including nervous system disorders, cancers, and worst of all, myocarditis that can lead to sudden death. So you might be thinking, those adverse reaction people are crazy. I got the shot, nothing bad happened to me. I'll give you 5 reasons why that is. First, you have no idea where the tip of that needle is when they push that plunger. If it's in a vein or a capillary bed, those particles will rapidly spread to your heart and to your brain, increasing your chances of neurologic and cardiac symptoms. Secondly, you have no idea how many particles are in that syringe. It could vary tenfold based on how it was prepared. And the more particles you get, the greater the chance of an adverse reaction. So maybe you just got lucky. Third, there is polyethylene glycol in the shot that keeps the particles from sticking together. If it degrades, and it does, you could get injected with coagulating goo that can cause a deadly stroke or a heart attack within minutes or hours. Fourth, the mRNA that's in the shot can degrade also, so it won't even make the spike protein at all, lessening your chance of an adverse reaction. Fifth, the more acidic your body is, the more spike proteins you will make, and that will increase the chance of an adverse reaction. So maybe you got lucky again, and your body, due to your diet or medications, was less acidic, and you made less spike proteins. But you can only be lucky for so long. The effects of this shot are cumulative. So my advice is to never, ever get one of these shots again. And if you did get one, get your D-dimer levels checked for microclotting and troponin checked for myocarditis. These problems can be asymptomatic and result in chronic disease or death in 2 to 5 years if you don't do something about it.
Well, that's some good information right there. You got this one guy right here. He even made a rap about it. Let's check this out.
I told everybody that shout out to your everybody owe me a goddamn apology. I told everybody back then that that virus was fake. I told everybody that shout out to your DNA. But they said I was crazy and I was the one to blame. I told my people research Tuskegee experiments. But people wasn't fair, they wasn't really hearing it. Dr. Fauci plead the fifth in court 100 times. He got no remorse for the people he caused to die. People took 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots, killing more people than gun violence. That shit was all a plot. They was pushing population control, they trying to get rid of us. Everybody back then who was tapping, they belittled us. We gotta tap back into our natural herbal remedies. Because these doctors in big pharma killing us just for the fee. Get in the sun, they go sweat, remove that shit from out your body. Send it to someone who took that jab, y'all shouldn't have trusted Fauci.
Now, a lot of people do feel like the whole Thanos thing, you know, Thanos, Thanos is famously known.
Everybody on
Thanos is famously known for, trying to wipe out half the population so the other half can just, have more food to go around and it just be a better thing because, you know, too much people can, make for a bad society. So a lot of people feel like this was just, the government trying to play Thanos in theory, you know. But I want to know what y'all think down in the comment section, man. Do you still believe that, you know, even though this is so much of a hoax that is no big deal, or do you believe that, you feel vindicated because you was a truth seeker this whole time and you just was against that since day one? Or did you get it and then you are not, and now you feel like you regretted it? You probably got it for you. You probably thought it was best for your family. So, let me know what your thoughts are, if you do regret it. And if you did get it and you see any type of changes in your body or whatnot, for the worse, go ahead on and shut down your experiment and your experience and let me know anything you did to, combat it. But I mean, that's all I could pretty much say, man. I want to know what y'all think down in the comment sections, though. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, what you're waiting on. Until next time, I'm out.